Hello everybody, I am going to show you how I make my bows. I put out a wreath video the other day on that red ball wreath, and I showed how to make a bow in that, and since then I've been getting a lot of requests to make a bow video, so I saw again people being frustrated with bow makers. I've done this for a lot of years, and during the Christmas season I made hundreds and hundreds of bows, and actually got so frustrated one year because my hands hurt that I told myself I was going to go out into the shop and I wasn't coming back in till I designed a bow maker that my then 14-year-old could make a nice bow with, and I did it. And it's patent pending, and I can't show anybody until I'm done with all the paperwork. It's actually not pending yet. It's in the process, and so anyway, when I send them money, they will start it, and it's one that I'm sure people will be really happy with, because the ones on the market are really frustrating for me and for a lot of people. Some people can do them. So I'm going to show you how to make bows with this. The only thing I don't have to make one with now is mesh, which is, I hate mesh. There's nothing I like about it, especially making bows. So I try to use anything else. I'm going to use this size, that size. There's in between. There's little, there's really little, and there's this. So I'm just going to go through and make some different bows. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'd be happy to help. So the first, and I've cut a bunch of wires so I don't have to do it. So the first one I'm going to do is just a Christmas bow. And so what I do is I take however long I want the tail. Most of my wreaths have about a foot long tail, somewhere in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm trying to get myself here so you can see. I'm just going to pinch it together. And then however long I want my my bow parts or the loops, I'm just going to shove that in my finger there. This whole reason is why I quit doing wreaths and bows for a long time, because it gave me carpal tunnel. So I just keep pulling out, and I'm not twisting anything. I'm just shoving it in my finger. And I can do it one of two ways. I can flip it over like this, or being this is one-sided or two-sided ribbon, I'm just going to make another loop. I'm just going to shove it in there. And then again, I'm going to get a bunch of this. So then I'm going to take it and I'm going to loop it over. Right now I'm looking at my bow and it's looking like this. Sorry about the lighting. So that's how that bow is. Now you can stop right there, and that could be your bow. It just depends on what kind of bow you want. So we'll stop right there. So there's that, and I'm gonna put a piece of wire around, and I leave long tails on it so it can go behind my wreath. Then I just twist. Now the other thing I could have done, so there's that bow. And I'm just going to undo this again, is before I tied it off, I could make one loop in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it the way I was, like this. Then I'm going to take this right here, and if you can see, I'm just going to twist it like that. So I go like this, and I twist it like that. Again, my thumb is grabbing all that bunch in there, and then I can make this smaller by doing that, just by pulling. And there you have, this is actually what they consider a typical bow, a wreath bow on your greenery, on your fresh wreaths. And that's what I made thousands of, doing it like this. So the bow maker we're doing makes them like this really easy. So then I just take, again, my wire through there, and there you go, it's back there, and you twist. And that's it. And there's your real plain Jane bow, but it's really pretty. I take it down here, I get both of mine at the same length, and I'm really particular about it. If I have one going down this way, I want the other one coming down this way. So I just do it at an angle, and there is that bow. The next one I'll do will be like a double bow. So with your double bows, we're going to start out like we did before. Here, about a foot. I'm going to just squeeze it together, make a loop, put it in there, squeeze it together, make another loop. For this bow, I'm going to make 3 loops on the outside. Then I'm going to make 3 loops on the inside. Makes for a big bow. Now see, I'll stop and check it. Yeah, it looks pretty uniform, and I keep going back. Just flip it over. And there's that. And there's this. And there's a triple bow. You could put a little loop right there and you could be done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going, my ribbon's getting all tangled up. I'm going to make 2 that are shorter on the inside. So if you look at this, this is shorter than this. And then make another one on this side. Ribbon down on the ground, and then I'm going to make, oops, bring that like this, make another loop there. By now my hands are usually numb. And then I'm going to make another loop there. So again, you can just stop right there. You can fluff it together, you can bring these up like this, you can have this kind of a bow. You could either cut it off like that, or you can again stick your, wish I could see better here. Stick this, make a little loop like that, and then put your wire right through there. So that's another way. I'm not going to do that with this one because I'm going to show you bow I make all the time. There's the base of it. Now the thing is, you don't need a super long wire tie for this one, because the one that goes in the middle is going to be the one that goes behind the wreath. So whichever ribbon you end up with, so you could put another color in here and then another color in there, whichever one is your center piece, whichever one you're going to end with is the wire that you want to make the longest. So I would just cut that off. Then I'm going to cut my tail, and that one's going to go up. So now I want to make something red to go in the middle. So I'm going to measure first, make sure this is about the same as that. And then I'm going to start another one that's smaller. The satin slippery ribbon is not my favorite to work with. I do all the time because I make a lot of team wreaths. So I'm going to make that one about that big. You can bring it up to your other bow and see where that's at. So that's going to be right about there. It's shorter. They just keep getting shorter as you go. So on this one, I'm just going to do, I'm going to make just 3 loops and then call that good. And as you can see, you could just keep making these same kind of bows over and over and making them smaller and just adding them on to that bow on the outside. So there is that one. So I'm going to cut this. I'll check those tails in a minute. So there's the last one. I'm going to put a Christmas ball in the middle probably of this bow. So I'm not going to put a middle in it. Then I just take this and I split these wires. I don't know if you can see that. And I put one underneath this bow. So one's going under it. It's not working. Like that. Bring that wire is going to be right here. And then that top wire goes back, so you meet both wires in the back and you pull tight on it. And I want it to go up a little bit. So if you can see, here's where my bow is so far. And I'm going to twist it onto the back. And this wire, actually it's not long enough to go on one of my reeds, but you make that center one long enough. So then there's your bow right there. You just pull on your loops to put them where you want. And then there's your bow. Now, this isn't an all the way around bow. All you would do for that is probably on the back you would want to make a couple more loops, but it's still a pretty full bow. You can bring it up like that, and then I'll end up putting a ball in the middle, or I could put green in the middle or something like that. Then you just straighten out your tails like so. So there is another kind of bow. I can make that like that. So the next bow we're gonna do, I got the gold out. You want to make just a really simple bow, just something, maybe you just want 2 loops. So I'm gonna do that. I love this ribbon, it's really pretty. So right now I've got that, I'm just holding it right there. I like it to be on this side. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a loop and bring it on over like that. And it can be however big or small you want it. And then I'm just going to go like so and so. And there you have a cute little bow. So you could actually, if this had a few more loops, put it in the middle of this, which would also be kind of pretty. You could put that right in there, like so. But I'm just gonna finish this one off. You can twist it to the right direction when you get them, when you get the tails cut. So this was the beginning of this roll. I'm going to cut that off at an angle and at an angle. So there you go. There's a little, really simple little bow that you can do.